trust me, this is the perfect fisherman soup recipe you have been looking for, because in this video I will be teaching you everything you need to know about fisherman soup. My name is Ehi and you're welcome to my kitchen. As always, we'll be getting to know our ingredients first, and the star of today's show is our catfish, which of course has been properly cleaned at home. There is no slime at all, as you can see. If you want to know how to clean your catfish at home, just click the link up there. I have a video where I showed you the easiest way to clean your catfish. Now you can make use of croaker fish or any other type of fish. Catfish is really just preference for me because I feel like it comes out a lot sweeter or tastier, as the case may be. We'll also be needing some prawns, which have also been properly cleaned. We'll be needing some river snail, popularly known as ugolo. Now when I make fisherman soup, I like to use river snail as opposed to the regular snail that we know, and it's just because there was one time I did a research and I found that the popular snail we know is not particularly a seafood, so I'd rather just stick to ugolo when I'm making fisherman soup. But I mean, you can use snail. Then we'll also be using some periwinkles, because what is fisherman soup without periwinkles? We'll also be needing some crabs, which have also been properly cleaned, of course. Now, one of the beautiful things I like about fisherman soup is how versatile it is. So you can make use of any seafood of choice. Would also be needing some yellow habanero pepper and red scotch bonnet pepper with some onions. Now you see the yellow habanero pepper, it is very important for fisherman soup. I don't think you can make banging fisherman soup without that pepper. Personally, I like to use the red scotch bonnet pepper just for preference, because when I make fisherman soup, I like it to be really spicy, but you can actually skip the red pepper. Then of course we'll be needing some palm oil. Now the quality of palm oil you use for a fisherman soup is very important. My mother-in-law got me this oil and I know that it is very good because our mothers know how to buy the best of oils. We'll also be needing some uziza leaves for garnishing. I personally like to also use okra for garnishing, but trust me when I say it is very optional. It is really just preference for me. We'll also be needing some pepper soup spice and some uziza seeds, blended or pounded. Now, personally, I like to use both of them, but you can actually either use the pepper soup spice alone or the uziza seeds. It really is just preference. I find that when I combine both of them in the way and manner that I do it, it actually comes out tastier and very unique. So you should really try it my way. And of course, we'll be needing some thickener. For this, I'm using cocoyam powder, but you can make use of the regular native cocoyam known as ede, can make use of ofo, achi, or even cornstarch, whichever one works for you. But I just use any one that comes to mind. I personally don't like how ofo comes out, but I mean, anything that works for you is great. To begin the cooking process, we're going to be putting our cleaned catfish into a pot. Then we're going to be adding our blended pepper and onion mix and our pepper soup spice and some of our uziza seeds. We're going to be saving the rest for later. You will see what I'll do with that much later. And of course, you want to season that very well. If you're a salt person, please, like I always say, don't forget to put salt. Then cover that up with enough water. I like to rinse out my blender for this. Then cover up and allow this cook on medium-low heat for about 7 minutes. You obviously want to give that a very good stir so that everything combines. Now, catfish doesn't take really long to cook. Within 12-15 minutes, catfish is done. But we're cooking for about 7 minutes just so that, the seasoning enters inside the catfish, and then it will continue to cook as we continue to progress with the cooking of the soup. After about 7 minutes, this is exactly what it looks like. So you want to give that a very good stir. Honestly, within the 7 minutes, I probably, give this a very quick stir about twice. Then at this point, you want to add in all of your seafood except your periwinkles. So you're putting in your crabs, any seafood that you're using for this, just add it now. I like to leave the periwinkles for last because periwinkles cook really quickly. So you don't want to put it now and then at the end of your cooking, your periwinkles have completely disappeared. After putting in all of your seafood, you want to add in your palm oil. Now at this point, I must say that the quantity of palm oil you use to an extent depends on your preference. Personally, I like my fisherman soup to be red. Like I like it to be vibrant, rich red, like porridge kind of red. But some people don't like that. So if you are that person, you want to reduce the quantity of palm oil that you use at this point. Of course, at this point, we also want to add in our thickeners. So for this, since I'm using cocoyam powder, I like to quickly mix my cocoyam powder with some water and some palm oil into a very smooth paste. The palm oil part is very optional. It's just how I like to do it. You can just mix with water and put that into your soup, but you want to be very wary because you do not want your cocoyam paste to be runny. If you are using cornstarch, yes, it can be runny, but for cocoyam powder, please, you want it to be looking like this. Once you've introduced your cocoyam powder paste or any other thickener that you'll be using into your pot, you want to give that a very quick, safe stir so that your fish doesn't start to break. And then you want to cover up and allow this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes or until your soup begins to thicken up. And a big shout out to Adewale Adepoju. Thank you so much for your support. I am so glad that you love my content. After about 7 minutes, this is exactly what our fisherman looks like. Looking rich, looking sumptuous, looking expensive. You want to give that a very quick mix, and as you can see, it is getting thicker, but you must know that the longer it cooks and as it cools down, it begins to thicken even more. So if you like a lighter consistency, you want to reduce the quantity of your thickener. It's at this point that I like to add my periwinkles, a little bit of crayfish, just about a tablespoon for this quantity, because you do not want to add so much crayfish so that it doesn't mess with the taste of your soup. Then I like to add my okra for garnishing. Like I said, this is very optional, so if you do not want this, you want to skip it. Now you want to give that a very good stir so that everything marries each other. Then you want to add in your uziza leaves and give that another very good stir. Guys, at this point, your neighbors cannot breathe. I am not even joking. Like, they are even salivating in their homes. Give that a good stir. Cover up for about a minute or two for this to simmer and you are good. Just look at how rich our fisherman soup is looking, and this tasted so good. Let me know if you enjoyed watching this by giving me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you've not done that already. Turn on post bell notifications so that you can be notified whenever I post new videos. Bye my loves.